last night I took an overtime shift because somebody else was going to get ordered. I took a position I don't normally take because I don't particularly care for it. But I did take it because I didn't want to see somebody get ordered like it happens all the time. We had runs at 1:30, 2:30, it was like a little after 3:30, and at 6:28. I remember that run for some weird reason. And that was a 14-hour shift, so I got no sleep there. Now I'm working a 24-hour shift, and basically I'm exhausted. I'm ready to go home, hoping I can go home tomorrow.
My name's Ernie Gabori. I'm captain of Engine 5, which you're at Station 1 right now, but I'm normally at Station 5 right now.
My name is Bill Macro, a fire lieutenant in the North Kingstown Fire Department. I got hired in 1999, became lieutenant about 4 years ago.
Chris Beatty, private North Kingstown Fire Department, hired in July of 2001, and held that rank since.
Robert Olivier. I'm on Engine 3, and I've been on the job for 10 years.
My name is Rich Cawley. I'm a private, and I've been on the job for just a little over 6 years.
Yeah, my name's Thomas Young. I'm a private on North Kingstown Fire Department. Been on the job since 1987, be 25 years this month. And in all my time here, I've never seen anything like it. I'm usually, we work things out, and and things run relatively smoothly here. But the last, since we've gone to these new shifts, the fatigue factor has really become a problem, not only for ourselves but for our families that have to deal with deal with things on a daily basis at home.
But in my own words to what happened, basically it would be like anybody else going to work and saying, you have to work more hours and we're going to pay you less. To sum it up as short as I can.
Current schedule is problematic to say the least. Working 56 hours a week. People assume that means you're working 56 hours a week. You're not working 56 hours a week. You're working 48 hours a week for 2 weeks in a row, and then 72 for a third. That's your schedule time. So you're scheduled to work 72 hours on that third week, on top of the 48-hour weeks 1 and 2. Any additional time is on top of the 72 hours. It's a difficult situation to say the least.
At the beginning in March, it was, the compensation part was a big deal, and it still is. But now it's a safety issue now. It's safety for us, the firefighters. It's safety for the people that we get paid to protect, and then you get your family life. It takes a toll on the wives at home. It really does. And people have their different views on that, and they say, well, it's your job. When you took the job, you knew it was involved in the job. Well, in 2001, I knew it was involved in the job, and you know what? Things have changed since then. The job has changed since then, but your schedule is not supposed to change, not unless you agree on it.
What is your least favorite aspect of the job?
Political part of it. Granted, we don't get into a lot of the political part of it, but I see what it does to the chiefs, and I've known a lot of different chiefs out there, and it breaks them. It's sad because they're always, a lot of them were good firemen, and then they get into the chief spot, and it tears them apart. A lot of times they don't want anything to do with the fire department once they get out, and I hope to never have to worry about that.
My least favorite is, I've got a couple. I definitely miss my my wife and my son terribly, especially lately, because we're never know when we're coming home. And the other thing I don't like is I don't like vomit and feces. They get me every time. Back in March, they started the 56-hour work week illegally, and it's forcing me to work more hours for no pay. They're not properly staffing it, so what's happening is guys are getting ordered all the time because we're so understaffed, and me getting ordered constantly and working constantly, I'm not home and I'm not seeing my wife and my son, which is terrible. The worst thing is just, like I said, not knowing if you're going home or not the next day, and it's stressful enough. If something bad ever happened, I might not go home, but just adds some more stress now that I might have to work another shift.
But that's what I think is the biggest thing. Right now, it's become safety. Safety is the big key, because you got guys working. I mean, we've got, let's see, on this shift tonight, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys.
I'm on a
5
38.
guys.
I'm on a 38.
38.
Tommy's on a
He's closing out a 72.
72.
Freddie? 52?
52.
52. No, it'll end up being 58.
Tomorrow
Tomorrow morning, it'll be 58. He'll close out a 58 shift, a 58-hour shift. Actually, no. Tomorrow you're working again, right? So now he'll end up here for 72. Where's the end?
The last, since we've gone to these new shifts, the fatigue factor has really become a problem, not only for ourselves, but for our families that have to deal with deal with things on a daily basis at home, that we're not here. I mean, right now I'm on the tail end of a 72-hour shift, and then I start my 24-hour shift tomorrow, so will end at a 96-hour shift.
It's basically the truck check that we do at the beginning of every shift when you come in. Typically in the past it was done twice a day. Now with these extended shifts, some days it's done once a day. You basically go through everything, go through the truck from top to bottom, front to back, you run all the equipment, you go through you begin the truck check by checking all your fluid levels and all the stuff that has to be done as far as mechanically, and then you run through the entire truck, you run through all the saws. This truck has the jaws of life on it, the second set of jaws of life. You run through the fans, all the items that need to be checked. We try to do it as a group effort. People that are assigned to this truck. Something we have to do every day. You have to, that's the thing that this shift creates. This shift creates, if you work one day on and have 2 days off, which is the way that this shift is characterized, anything extra has to touch 24 hours because you only have 3 groups. So if day 1 you're working and you get out for day 2, you get out for 24 hours, okay, you got out. If you have to come back for another overtime, you come back for another 24, now you're back on your first day again. You can't. You can't touch it. You can't avoid touching your shift. So a 24 is truly the minimum.
Just makes it for a long day, and I still have another like 16 hours to go. And try to sleep if there's no runs, but it's not like sleeping in your own bed. Your mind's constantly running. You never know if the bell's going to go off, and you always got to try to be ready at all times. And so, like I said, you don't sleep well. So right now I'm looking at it, probably won't sleep for 2 days. And then if I get out tomorrow, I somehow going to be able to function for my family, and it's nearly impossible. Not sleeping for 2 days is tough, and then running around with a 16-month-old is even tougher.
You always hear the common question, the most common question we're always asked is why do you send the fire truck with the rescue? You can't figure that out. You have 2 people, and we run with the bare minimum on our trucks, as I said earlier. We run with 2 guys on a fire truck, 2 guys on the rescue truck. If you're doing critical care on a patient, which I would say at least half the time we go out, it's a critical call, okay? It's an ALS, an advanced life support call. You need the manpower on the scene to help you prep the patient, package the patient, and then sometimes, like happened today, where they took Dan and I off the truck. So they took 2 guys off the engine and 2 guys in the rescue, and all 4 of us ended up going around the hospital with a trauma. How are you going to show up to a house fire with 1 guy on a fire truck? You can't do it. You shouldn't be doing it with 2 men on a fire truck. We utilize the guys on the rescue on this department. Hopefully they're here, but they're not. They're not always here. They're a lot of times they're at the hospital because the guys on the rescue truck, they're also firefighters. But
Well, as far as the political aspect of it, it's sad that it's come down to that, because it's not our job. We don't think in terms of politics. We think in terms of helping people. And And a lot of times that hurts us because we'll try to help each other out. And it doesn't hurt us, but we'll try to help each other out and take shifts knowing that if somebody else has something else they need to get done at home with their families. It's a great career. I enjoy the job. I like helping people. I like the work. But it's just too bad that it's become so political at this point in my career. Now you come into work and you don't know when you're going to come home. You can't even schedule appointments, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments. You have problems with that because you can't schedule them because you don't know whether you're going to be here or not.